Good afternoon, everyone.
Dude, I cannot wait to watch this. Because Kenny Omega, dude, he's such a sick wrestler, and uh, um, I love wrestling. I love video games. Kenny Omega is cool. Let's watch this.
Who's the number one person you would want to run a 1st to 10?
Punk?
We're
Or
talking
is that
about
wait? No, it's Lupe
It
Fiasco,
could be
right?
anybody.
Anybody. Okay, so
CEO is this weekend, and I'll be there filming for an upcoming documentary on the history of the event. Part of that documentary features professional wrestler
Xavier
Kenny
Woods,
Omega, and I
aka,
was fortunate enough to sit down with him to talk about
Austin
not
Creed.
only CEO, but also how he discovered fighting games and how they even helped shape him as a wrestler.
fighting games have been a part of my life since a very young age. I used to always have to go to the grocery store every Saturday morning. My mom would give me $2 to rollerblade to the grocery store, which was about, I don't know, 15 minutes away. And
That's crazy. That's
I
long.
remember that the paper was $1.52, and with whatever was left over, I was able to get whatever I wanted. So some days it was a chocolate bar, until I realized that an ice cream store very nearby had a Super Street Fighter 2 cabinet. They had a
MK,
Mortal
dude.
Kombat cab. They would swap out cabs all the time. So it was like Mortal Kombat one time, Street Fighter another time. Time Killers was another one that they had.
What the heck? I've never heard of this game.
Oh, and also, I was a timekeeper for my dad's hockey league, old timers league.
Ew,
And
hockey.
The arena that they frequented had a Street Fighter 1 cab, so fighting Street. And I mean, I knew it was terrible, but I loved it. But there was always fighting games all around me. And then finally, when they had ports coming out to SNES, those were the first games that I got. Like on opening day, either I would rent them or I would take whatever money I had saved up and I would buy it.
Fans of Kenny Omega know his love.
And
for
he
video
does it-
games
he does it
and
sometimes.
I mean, the man uses signature moves like the V trigger and
Yep, the
One-Winged
V trigger,
Angel
the
for
one-winged
striking.
angel. Yep.
But this wasn't always the case. How did gaming, and more importantly, fighting games, become a source of
Dude,
inspiration?
King is
for
so
Kenny?
sick. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's like
Remember not
AEW. Like
understanding really what I
that
should
was
do as a
like
character,
I think the
who I
first
should
year of
be in the
AEW.
ring. Everyone always says you need a character, you need something larger than life. You need, in some cases, you need to play out a role that someone writes for you and make that successful. And I remember that when I had a stint in
that New
WWE
Japan?
in the developmental system,
Oh.
they asked me who I was. And I said, Kenny
Deep
Omega.
South Wrestling.
Where's he from? And I remember always being billed from Waikiki, Hawaii. I don't know why, but that's where I was from. And they said, what's your character? I don't know. I'm an athletic guy. Who are your favorites?
Yeah, because even
You know,
even with me, like I don't really I don't even like I don't really know what is Kenny Omega's character. He's just a good ass wrestler, and like he's a really good heel. I don't know. It's like it's something, I don't know. For me, it's like I don't know what his character is, because when you think about like Hangman Adam Page, he's a cowboy. He's a badass cowboy. Mox is like the the crazy one. Like the Young Bucks are like the aggressive super kick party. Like they don't care. You know what I mean? But with Kenny Omega, it's like I guess right now he's just like the heel, but he's gone. But I don't know. There's just with Kenny Omega, I just can't really I don't know what his character is, but like he is like a really good wrestler.
tell him, I liked Ultimate Dragon. I like Mr. Perfect.
Dang.
You know, I
Yes,
like that
Minnesota
guy
boys.
because I was an athlete growing up. And long story short,
Dude, sometimes I kinda wanna be a
tenure there
wrestler.
wasn't-
That's sick. That's like a clothesline.
When I say that, people
Oh,
picture me
Generico!
throwing a fireball, or maybe it's an invisible fireball. But it was more like an actual double palm strike to the chest.
Yeah.
But I would scream out Hadouken. It became one of my most signature trademark moves, and a lot of people liked it and loved it.
It's cool. The way he does it looks really
Matches,
nice.
And that made me happy. Made me feel like I'm on the right path, because now I'm really being myself and having fun with it, and people out there also enjoy it. Sort of on the other flip side of things, when you're studying to be a wrestler, or when you're studying tape to see how moves are performed, or how to make them look as good as possible, it's sometimes difficult because there are many people that have different takes on how to do different moves. So it's hard to find study material. It's hard to find examples of a move where it looks perfect, the textbook version of a move, or a move that makes it look devastating.
Like how Bret Hart is like
but
super
still
smooth in the ring. It's crazy.
And I remember it wasn't until playing, N64 games like No Mercy,
Oh, that's sick.
where
Dude, I cannot wait to play the AEW wrestling game. Oh my god, it's gonna be so sick. I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for that, because I think they are taking inspiration from No Mercy.
the
Like, they're
animations
just
for
trying to make it
moves
their
were
own, which is
as
gonna be
perfect as they
crazy.
could be.
Because the video games have
And
not been like
it
that in
wasn't
like forever.
until
They're
I
like
fell in
super
love with
like
Tekken
corporate. I don't know.
where you would see moves performed a little more devastating, like as if you were using them in a street fight. And so not only would I use the N64 game's way of performing moves, I would also use all the animations for what King would use in his moveset, or even like Julia, you know, some of the people that had pro wrestling.
Oh, that's sick!
And that actually helped inspire one of my moves later on down the road called Kreutz Rap.
Oh,
When I
what's
was
this
playing
Pac?
games on the SNES,
That's sick.
or just going to the local arcade, you know, I would kind of spread the word via my friends, and then, you know, my friends would speak to other people, or I'd speak like to my soccer team, and then they would talk to other people, and I would find out that, oh, there are other people that are super into these games. There's guys that have a reputation for being great at Street Fighter or great at Mortal Kombat, and, you know, we would try to figure out a way for us to kind of have a meet, you know, so we could have like these one-on-ones, or like a, you know, first to fives, first to tens. But there wasn't ever, at least where I was from, Winnipeg, there wasn't like an actual scene. There weren't tournaments, there weren't locals, there weren't anything.
Dude, just because he's talking about the scene and everything, oh my god, this reminds me when I first started playing Melee. Oh my god, this like the way he's talking about it, I'm like, dude, I cannot. It's like, I don't even know. It's like nostalgia's hitting.
Like that. And nor did I know that they actually existed. It was more just for bragging rights. So it wasn't until I really got into Street Fighter 4 where
Super
I started
Street
to really
Fighter
see
4.
just how deep it is and how much of a culture it really is.
Sagat.
Once I found out about that, once
L.I.
I started
Joe?
to see some of the streams,
that
like the
Needle Drop?
stuff on like Justin TV and things like that.
Justin
Really
TV.
stuff I
Oh
didn't
my
really
god,
know
he's
before.
talking about Justin TV. I remember
That's when
I
really
remember
started to fall
Justin
in love
TV.
with, like, really fall in love with fighting games, and really commit a lot of time and effort, and have favorites, and study characters more, study matchup knowledge, and actually have like a dog in the fight, so to speak, where, you know, there were people that I would actively try to follow and cheer for, and also try to up my game as well. And I
That's
don't
what's so
wanna
sick
say
about
that
Kenny, dude.
I
He's
thought
just
that
so
I could play
cool.
at that level. They would show huge monitors of the leaderboards of who the best were. And I remember that at that
sick.
time, it was flipping back
PR.
and forth all the time between Itazan and Daduri. It was just always like Zangief and Dalsum. And I was like, Zangief's top tier in this game? Oh, that's awesome. That's the thing about me too. Every time I play any
Dude,
fighting
those
game,
power
I
drivers
always
though,
pick the wrestler
they're
first.
so
I
annoying.
always wanted to do that. And as time went by, I started to watch more of like the salty sweet, like money matches. Like I would watch a lot of pie stuff.
That's
I
sick.
became a huge fan of Smug just because he was such a fun player to watch.
Dude, I
Just
want
his
to talk to
execution
Kenny Omega about
on
video
another
games and
level.
wrestling. Oh my
To this day,
god.
you know, no one, I don't think,
And have a
has the
drink
type
with
of
him.
execution that he
I
does.
don't know if he drinks though.
But
I don't think
actually,
so.
Smug was sort of a gateway to me watching Pai Chin, who had an unbelievable Cody. And I was like, man, I love Final Fight. Aside from fighting games and RPGs and things like that, two-player beat-em-ups are always like one of my favorite things in the world to do to kill time. So to have characters representing the Final Fight universe, and Cody being one of them, and having the option to have the knife, and just being a complete unique character, and seeing that the way Chin played him, I think it really brought me to the next level. And then I saw at that point too, BJ Unchained versus Bonchan, and I saw like, man, this is a Cody taking it to Bonchan of all people. That's incredible. So I'm really
Dang.
onto something if I just stick with it. I would watch. the
Dude,
streams,
fighting games
I would
are so
watch
sick.
tournaments, I would watch players. I would go to Taito Station at Shinjuku, and I would see Nemo sit there for hours and hours and hours, and I would see, you know, 100 win streaks, 110, 130. I was still a pad player at that time, and that's part of the reason why when I went to the arcade, I would just watch, because I wanted to participate, I wanted to fight these guys, but I only played on pad. I was just a console dude.
Oh
I remember it
no.
was Stan actually that said like, why do you play on pad? Like, there's such an opportunity to play against really good players and to learn if you played stick, because everyone here is going to the arcades. They're playing on the cabs. So if you got the time, you should learn. That's kind of when the light bulb went off. And I was like, yeah, you know what? What a great idea. I just wanted to play against the best players. I wanted to play in tournaments. I wanted to up my game. I wanted to be able to participate.
That's so sick, dude. A wrestler's playing
Later on down the
playing
road, I remember Mark
esports
Mann had
or
caught
on
on that I
esports.
was
It's sick.
like a fan of Street Fighter that I was
It's like
trying to
I don't know, in a way it's like I kind of like put myself in his shoes, cuz like I guess like we have things in common, right? We love video games. Like him and I, we have things in common, like video games and like wrestling. Like sometimes I even debate if I want to be a wrestler, dude. Like sometimes I'm like, dude, should I be a wrestler? Like should I just be playing like Melee, or like should I just like be streaming? Like you don't like we don't know. I want to be a personality. I want to entertain people. So it's like I don't know. I can kind of put myself in his shoes. I'm like, this is sick. Like someone who's famous, or like, I don't know. Like I'm not famous at all. I'm not famous. Literally not one bit. But like I'm just saying like, it's cool to see someone being super humble. Like, who has a passion of both things, and he loves it.
And he gave me
I love it.
my first
It's
like,
admirable.
real even crossover potential for
David
professional
Rowland.
wrestling too that exists to this day. And I couldn't have done it without, I guess, Street Fighter, fighting games in general, and the fighting game community.
You are here just like
He's cutting a promo. He's cutting a promo.
of the game.
Yeah, is that what champion? What belt is
I
that?
mentioned this before, but this
Let's see.
interview.
It looks. Is that the?
Just like everyone else.
Wait, what?
In general,
Is that from
and
New
the fighting
Japan?
game community.
You are here
Is it New
just
Japan belt?
like everyone
I have no
else
idea.
for the love of the game.
I mentioned this before, but this interview is part of a larger documentary on CEO, one of the premier fighting game tournaments that merges pro
Did he go
wrestling
there?
themes
Like this
with
year?
high-quality fighting game play. And while I had the chance, I want to ask Kenny
I know
if there's
Kenny's
anything
taking a
that
break.
the
Oh,
FGC
Bullet Club.
and pro wrestling could learn from one another.
It's difficult because the FGC, much like combat sports, like let's say UFC, boxing, characters are important. You have to sell the fight, you have to sell the match, you have to sell the event.
True.
But at the same time, you have to win. So if there's a specific type of method to getting to that desired outcome, you kind of have to stick to it. So I understand when some of the best players have nothing to say, when in between their matches they don't want to be seen. I get it. If that's what it takes to win, and that's how you're putting food on the table, you got to stick to it. But by the same token, I do believe that the FGC needs to realize that we enjoy the stories. We enjoy the characters.
Yup.
We enjoy the person behind the sticks.
Dude, I swear to God, Melee has some crazy ass stories sometimes, dude. I remember like, dude, I have not been in the Melee scene in like a year, dude. It's crazy. It's like it's kind of like a life changing thing. It's just kind of crazy. But like, back then we used to have like these like the Mango 3P Evo story. Oh my God, like things like that. Like oh my God, it was crazy. Like. It's like all these like different stories, dude. Back when HBox was the most dominant player, dude. Oh, it was so crazy, dude. Like it was just crazy, man. It was crazy. Like the whole story of HBox, him not being just him not being able to reach the top of the mountain for so many years, and then finally getting there and being consistent at it, and no one can beat him. That's so crazy.
And we want to see them. We
Now
wanna
it's like
hear them.
Zayn and
I
like
think, there are
even
people that are
Mango is
very
back. He
successful
winning
at
like
being
Summit
outspoken.
and like
You look
Wizzy.
at
Oh my
people in our
God,
history,
Wizzy.
for better or for worse, people that have become famous or infamous for their characters.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anytime we can speak to
Dude, okay. Speaking of what he was saying about characters and things like that, for me, like what I've always wanted to do with like the media community, I've always wanted to like, I guess be like a character, like be something like a wrestling character, be like a heel, be a baby face, like things like that. Have your turning moments, have your bad moments, but like people don't really understand that, and like I don't know, like they I don't know, you kind of have to establish it or like over time, but I don't know, it's like people kind of have to know like what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. For me, like it's something I would love to do. I would love to be like a character. Like one time, like I was like thinking of like changing my tag, being like literally putting a mask on and like just playing a different character. And like sometimes I'd be like oh little homie. Sometimes I'd be like a different person. You know what I mean? Like it'd be crazy. I would love to do that.
Keto, he uses something profound to say. Daigo has been known for having moments
Fiasco.
of being very entertaining. You have a guy who's
L.I. Joe.
beloved everywhere, L.I. Joe, for example. Just some of the best
Oh my God,
commentators
Kendrick Lamar.
literally to the degree of me wanting to hire them for wrestling. They provide that much
Yeah.
insight, but also a type of flavor and pizzazz to how they commentate. But then on the flip side, you do have a few players who are at the top of their game, but you put a mic in their face and
They don't say
have
anything.
nothing to say.
Yeah.
When they have an interview, even if it's a written interview,
Yeah.
it's still nothing interesting to say.
It's all up. Yeah, like
pre-match
it's all
comments,
about.
what do you have to say?
Dude,
I'll
it's
try
like-
my best. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
go
It's-
try my best. Yeah.
It's moments like that where
They gotta like sell the fight. You know what I mean? Yeah, they have to sell the
you
fight.
can truly sell your
Like dude, with like Melee community, dude, I've been like thinking of doing something for so long, but like no, I feel like no one wants to do it with me. Like I want to do something like so cool. it's like it's in my mind. It's like, you know, it's literally something I've been thinking of, but like no one, I feel like no one wants to participate. It has to do with like money matches, and like I need to do this. I want to do this really really bad, but no one's man.
Self and sell.
No
an
one's, like,
event or
able-
sell
no
a
one's willing
fight
to, like,
or
do it,
sell
or
even
participate.
your game at that point. If you had something more to say, so I think there's a little bit of charisma and personality lacking, and that's to no one's fault really. But I would love to see more of it.
That was good. That was good.
Oh my god, the stunner!
I think if there were more instances
Oh my God.
like that, and you know, like the K-Brad Stone Cold entrance, like
Yeah, K-Brad.
the Dominion.
Oh yeah, the Undertaker, that was so sick.
On stage.
Like, oh my god, he's on
Things like
stage.
that, you know
Oh
what I
my.
mean? Myself and Jabali carrying Smug to the ring.
Kenny
You know, cool stuff like
and
that. where
Jabali.
there's, you know, more showmanship.
I can't believe like
There's more
that
reasons-
Jabali had a
more
match on
reasons
AEW.
to
I heard it's
be
bad.
entertained
Versus
by
like
what
Michael
goes on.
Nakazawa.
If you can combine that with some real top tier gameplay where the people at home watch it and they go, I don't know how they did that, and I know no matter how much I practiced, I could never do that. Those situations factoring in and working hand in hand with one another kind of take things to another level. And I think that CEO especially helps bring those characters out of people, and I think it creates that fun atmosphere. And I think that it allows fighting games and the FGC to appear like a more fun place. Whereas, you know, there's some more sterilized tournaments, and I guess you could even say online tournaments. You can't really see that
Yeah,
very often.
it's true.
On the flip side of things, professional wrestling,
Kenny,
what we
boom,
do
the V
is,
trigger.
sometimes heavily scripted.
Oh my god,
And
buckshot
sometimes
lariat.
Everything that we do, we know in advance.
DMD.
And in those cases, you know, I would love if there were more of an unknown factor that goes
Eddie,
into what we do.
Eddie,
And I think
Eddie,
AEW
Eddie.
does a good job of
It's
that right
clobbering
now,
time,
where there's still a
boys.
lot of creative freedom
Dude,
for
we.
some of our
Oh my
athletes.
god, when I was at
But
Full Gear, it
I
was so
think
sick.
that
Oh my
in fighting
god.
games, when
Probably my
there's
best,
an
the best weekend of my
unpredictability,
life. Honestly,
you don't
I
know
swear to
who's
God.
gonna win, how they're
Best
gonna
weekend of my
win,
life.
if a match is going to be a wash, if a match is going to be close, if grand finals is going to get a reset. You never actually know because they're actually fighting. And I think if pro wrestling could achieve more moments where there's that uncertainty within the crowd, then I think combining that with our larger than life characters, we could create more drama behind what we do as well.
Oh my god. It's sick. Ding 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 ding. Ultimate Warrior,
All
dude.
this talk about getting into fighting games and working to improve got me thinking.
Gotta love
If
wrestling.
you could pick anyone, who would you run a first to 10 with?
If it was me, first to 10 with, I'd probably pay like. Oh, okay. My favorite players are like Nun and Mango and Amsa, but I'd probably say Mango because he's like he's just a spacey. So like either Fox or Falco, like I'll love to do
Here's
that.
the thing. The answer might shock you because, you know, Street Fighter's my game. I wouldn't ever claim to be real great in any other game. There's things I play casually, and I would just get completely washed at a tournament level. Street Fighter 5,
You think I'm not bad?
still pretty good at.
Okay.
You know this. You saw it. I don't want to bring up the story, but let's just say I took a half year off of Street Fighter 5 to come back, and I'm still winning.
The actual match. No.
So I don't want to.
Wait, is that Jabali versus
I
Kenny?
might have a beef with in wrestling.
Jabali.
Who's never touched a game. That does not interest me. I want to face a guy who knows what he's doing
Yeah.
and could challenge me. And I want it to be a show. I want you to put on a show. So I want this guy to have personality. I want him to know what he's doing, and I want to win. But I don't want to win easily. So that sort of narrows down the list a lot.
I see.
It's
He wants
gotta be
drama.
fun. You know, originally, do you know the Japanese commentator Aru? He's got a Grandmaster Zeku, and he's really good. I would have said him, but we've actually done that matchup like 3 or 4 times to death. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I won 3 of the 4, okay?
And he won 3 of the 4.
Oh, and there was another guy. There's another, and this is an actually, there's a little bit of bad blood there. A little bit of bad blood. But do you remember when Street Fighter 5 first came out? And they had that special challenge between Daigo and Lupe Fiasco.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
And I thought, man, what's this know-nothing dude Lupe doing playing against Daigo?
He wants to play
Everybody
Lupe?
knows he's a Street Fighter guy around here. Everybody
Dude,
knows
Lupe
it.
fell off hard.
And then Lupe
It's
had
kinda
to put it in
sad.
his contract that Daigo had to do the job to Lupe.
Oh, he's the.
like Lupe could ever be Daigo in anything. I
No.
mean, anything. We're talking even sports. Daigo could probably out-rap Lupe. if
No,
we're being
wait.
honest with each other. So I wanted Lupe. I wanted him
You want
bad.
Lupe? That'd be
Really
sick.
bad.
I would love
Wanted
to see
make him
that.
Cry. I wanted to make him so mad about it that he'd write a new song about it, like an actual good one. But that time.
Didn't he make like a 9-minute song
Lupe?
like that mentions like Street Fighter or something
And
like
actually, I
that?
think we're cool. I think we're cool now. We might be cool. He follows me and I follow him. But I remember when I did something for, I think it was a CEO match against Xavier Woods. Lupe tweeted it out right away. He said,
think I saw
hold
this.
up. What are these two nobodies doing on stage? I'm the only Street Fighter guy that should be around.
Oh,
I'm the Street
no.
Fighter guy. I'm like,
No.
Lupe, what are you talking about? You're not a Street Fighter guy.
Dude, we need to make like a video game like we need to we need to make like an esport celebrity league. That'd be crazy.
Hell, you ain't even a musician anymore. Who are you, dude?
Dang.
I didn't go that
Got
far.
him.
I wouldn't say that to him. I don't want to hurt his feelings. So it was Lupe. But hey, if you're gonna tell me that after all this time, he's still fakely supporting Street Fighter because he wants a quick payout, come talk to me. We'll have that real set. Put on a goddamn show, Lupe.
Oh my
Just you and me.
god.
I'll bring out that Alex. You bring out
He's cooking a promo.
whoever the fuck it is that you play, and we'll see who's better. We'll see who the Street Fighter guy is. Aside from that, I think a set with Rob TV would be good.
Kenny Omega.
He's cooking a promo.
Take the risk, the ridiculous risk of riding down Hollywood Boulevard.
Dude, I want to look like that.
There's no street lights, and it's a dead end for a reason. If you are sure that you are ready for that type of pressure, then I invite you anytime, any place, in any game. But I can guarantee you, it will not be pretty.
Ooh.